It's really bittersweet that I'm done nursing now and I don't know if I'll ever nurse again. Hi guys, it's Amanda with Eat Pray Crunch, and today I wanted to tell you about our weaning story. Little Sophie is now officially 100% weaned as of last week, and dear, I'm very sad about it. We're also ready, so I just wanted to talk about that whole process of how I weaned her, and I just wanted to talk about how we did it and what worked for us in terms of weaning and timing and all of that kind of thing. I'll link here a video of the first foods that she ate. This girl, Sophie, loves her food. She is a little foodie. She and Alex are just so polar opposite in this way. Alex is the pickiest child I have ever met, and Sophie is like the most adventurous eater I have ever met. And it's very interesting having such different kids. It's given me a lot of perspective. But anyway, that in and of itself made it a little bit different to begin with, because from the time she was like 5 months old, she just could not wait to eat real food. She was constantly grabbing at our food, trying to put it in her mouth. She just could not wait to eat real food. And once she discovered that there was real food, she kind of naturally started weaning herself. I mean, it was, it wasn't like an overnight kind of thing, but she just had much more interest in real food than she did in breast milk. It was still a comfort thing for her, and she obviously still liked it, but she wasn't as gung-ho about it as she was before she discovered that food was a thing. But once she discovered that, man, that was a lot more interesting to her than nursing. So that was just a little bit different to begin with. Anyway, so I'll link that video here of the first foods that she ate. Once we started introducing solids to her, the nursings started to kind of naturally taper by themselves. We kind of gradually moved into a schedule of nursing that was first thing in the morning, before nap, and before bedtime. And every once in a while, if she was really upset, or if she just seemed like she could not wait until dinner time, then I would feed her occasionally in the afternoon as well, just to tide her over before dinner. Starting at about 12 months, and then maybe that process getting down to those 3 or 4 feedings a day took maybe a month or 2, and it just kind of naturally happened. And same thing with her as with Alex. The only time that I really did on-demand feeding with her was just the first few months of her life. And then we also fell into a little bit more of a schedule. I'm definitely a scheduled person, but I'm not like rigid about it, so it's flexible, and so we would kind of have a rhythm to our day. It wasn't like she had to eat at this time and this time and this time exactly every day. It was just more like approximately every 3 or 4 hours or whatever she would nurse. And then it was, first thing in the morning, nap time, bedtime. So then by the time she got to be about 14, 15 months, I was starting to feel ready. Even though we're not planning on having another kid anytime soon, I was just starting to feel like I am ready to just have my body be my own again. If we do have another kid, I want to have like at least a full year where my body is just my own and I am focusing on my health and kind of getting things a little bit closer back to the way they were. And so I was just starting to feel that a little bit. It wasn't super strong and I was in no hurry, but because of that, I started thinking around, 14, 15 months, maybe I'll start nudging the weaning process a little bit. And it was kind of happening naturally anyway, since she was so much more interested in food anyway. Her nursing sessions were kind of starting to naturally get shorter, like she was just losing interest. She would nurse at those times, but she used to do it for like 15 minutes, and then it was getting down to like 10 minutes, and then it was getting down to like 5 minutes. So she was kind of weaning herself in that way. So the way that I started intentionally weaning was, I would wait until I felt like she was actually ready. So like I said, her actual nursing sessions were getting shorter, so she was showing that she was losing a little bit of interest anyway. So I started with the morning feed because that just seemed kind of like the least important one to her. Bill would bring her into bed with me in the morning, we'd snuggle and she would nurse. And so, I knew that I was going to miss that a little bit. So the day I decided to drop that feed, instead of having her snuggle in bed with me, I got out of bed and I sat on the floor and I just had her sitting in my lap, and I would read her a book, or we would just snuggle that way, or do something different that was still special and bonding, but it wasn't nursing and it was distracting her from the fact that she wasn't nursing. So it was a little bit of a combination of her leading it and me nudging it a little bit, all very gentle, wasn't dramatic at all. And you know, she was a little irked that first day because she wanted to nurse, but when we distracted her, she got over it, and then the next day she had like totally forgotten about it, and it was like no big deal at all. At this point we were just down to the 3 nursing. So I dropped the first one, and then like a month later I dropped the nursing before nap. You know, when she was in the rocking chair, she expected to nurse. So instead of rocking her, I would like hold her while standing, or we would sit on the floor and like sing a song and cuddle that way. And then I'd put her in her crib and I would offer her water from her sippy cup. So that worked pretty well. She was also a little irked the first day we did that, but then forgot about it. Then we were down to the very last nursing, which is the one right before bed. With that one, I was starting to like mourn it a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, this might be the last time I nurse my baby. Like I'm not ready. I was starting to get emotional about it. We went for a few months like that where she was nursing at night, but then she's really started losing interest, and like her little nursing session right before bed was starting to be like, you know, it was 5 minutes, and then it was down to like 2 minutes, and then she was only doing it for like 30 seconds. And then one day she actually pushed it away. And so I was like, oh, she's done. Like that's the sign. Like she was pushing it away. She was telling me she was done. And I wasn't ready. I was like, I would be okay doing this for a few more months, but she decided she was done. So that was that. After the night where she pushed it away, I was like, okay, I need to, just for my own sake, I need to do this one more time just so I can have that really focused present time where I'm really paying attention and just savoring this very last feed. So that's what I did. The following night after that, I also took a video of that, and I won't be posting that on YouTube. It was just for me. I just savored that last little nursing, and she really only nursed for like 30 seconds that night too, and she was done. And that was it. I put her in her bed. It's just so bittersweet because we made it to 16.5 months, and I'm really proud of myself for making it that far. And I know that it was the right time. It just felt right. She was ready. She was showing me signs that she was ready, and I felt like we had a really good combination of, you know, her being ready and me nudging it a little bit, and it worked out really well. Even though it's really bittersweet that I'm done nursing now, and I don't know if I'll ever nurse again. If we have another baby, then I will, but I don't know. But I am really glad also that my body, for now, is my own body again. Anyway, I just wanted to make a video telling you guys the process of how I weaned Sophie, and hopefully you guys can pick up some tips and tricks that might be helpful for you. So tell me in the comments, how have you guys weaned your babies? I'm really curious because I know there are lots of ways to go about it. Some people are, you know, very rigid about it, like they say we're done on this day and, you know, switch to a bottle, and some people do exclusively baby-led weaning where the baby chooses themselves. I really think that there's lots of right ways to do it. So tell me your experience about weaning in the comments. I would love to have a discussion with you guys about that and just learn how other people do it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have not already, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below so that you can get a notification every time I put out a new video. And if you haven't checked out my Facebook page, be sure to go on over and check that out. I just post inspirational things, things about our garden, things that I don't have time to make videos about, that kind of thing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.